Day one of the Chicago Bears mandatory minicamp is officially underway. And with that being said, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in Chicago for Bears practice. But mandatory minicamp is a little bit different compared to OTAs. Obviously, they're allowed to record more 7-on-7s, more 11-on-11s, which we should be able to see in the next Bears update. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But also, everyone should be here, and quite frankly, if you're not at practice, you're going to get fined. So in this video, we're going to break down everything we saw from day one of mandatory minicamp, but more importantly, everything you need to know going forward for the Chicago Bears and who is standing out. Now, before we jump into the video, I need you guys to do me a big favor and go follow the Bears media team, man. They work so hard each and every single day to get these highlights out for us that enable us to kind of make this video, right? This video isn't possible without the Bears media team. So go give them a follow. Big shout to them, man. You're going to see 3 names at the top left and the top right of your screen throughout the video. Make sure you guys go follow them. Now, with that being said, let's kind of jump into the video. Now, the big thing about today, or yesterday I should say, was Keenan Allen was back at practice. Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and obviously this wide receiver room looks like it's the best in the NFL, right? Whenever you have 3 guys who are, game changers in terms of route running ability, but also yards after the catch and being able to make a play out of nothing on every single possession. This is a really fun wide receiver room, and I'm excited to see what goes on next. Now, it was about a week ago where Caleb Williams looked terrible. I mean, it was incompletion after pick after incomplete. I mean, it was terrible, right? He bounced back, had one of the most phenomenal days ever when he dominated the second team defense. And then, today, first day of mandatory minicamp, was kind of a mixed day of results for Caleb Williams and the Bears offense, but you can start to see that he is starting to break out here in Chicago. Now, again, take everything I say with a big grain of salt, okay? There's no pets, there's not too much contact. So obviously, yes, he can look good and he can progress every single day, but just because he's breaking out in minicamp doesn't mean he's going to break out in training camp and preseason, you know what I mean? So take everything with a grain of salt. Yes, he's getting better and better each and every single day, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Now, it started off very good in 11-on-11 drills. And then 7-on-7s was good for the most part, but there was an interception, and it shouldn't come by surprise. They added Kevin Byard this offseason, one of the most premier turnover machines in the NFL at the safety position, and he did what he does best, right? Forcing turnovers. That's something that he's been doing for the entirety of his career, so I'm not really too shocked about that one. There was a 2-minute drill, and that was not good for the first team offense. They ran 2 drives in 2 minutes, punted both times after 3 and outs, including some penalties on the offensive line as well. And the defense is just, this defense looks far and above, way better than they were last year, right? They look like they've added some really good players. I mean, a guy like Austin Booker is absolutely dominating camp so far, getting right off the edge and putting instant pressure on the quarterback almost every single time. I mean, Austin Booker might not be a day one starter for this team, but man, in the future, he could be a deadly piece going forward, alongside Montez Sweat, obviously. But before we, deep dive any further into yesterday's practice, make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering the Bears throughout the entirety of the offseason. Now, you might be asking, what does that include exactly? Well, the rest of mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, and regular season as well. And once the season does kick off, we're going to be breaking down some all-22 coaches film each and every single week, looking at Caleb Williams, looking at the offense, looking at the defense, and just breaking down plays. So make sure you guys are here for that. But let's jump back into today's practice after you guys, subscribe to the channel, obviously. But obviously the defense has been a focal point of this team. As long as we're talking about camp so far, and I know, again, a lot of you guys love the roast because you're like, it's just camp, it's just OTAs, it's just mandatory minicamp. I get it, right? But if you look bad in mandatory minicamp, that's probably the worst sign ever, right? So the defense does not look bad at all. I mean, they look really good. They look hungry. They look ready to roll. And you got to give a big shout out to, the secondary. Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Tyreek Stevenson, Kevin Byard. And then, I feel like they have really good depth in Jonathan Owens and Terrell Smith as well. So, hey, this Bears team, They are ready to go. And again, Austin Booker off the edge. I'm so excited for what these guys are starting to do. Caleb Williams, like we said earlier, had some success in 7-on-7s. And it was the Bears starters this time. They were all there, every single one of them. Besides that one interception, I feel like Caleb Williams did a really good job. And you know what? The most important thing is he's actually going to be able to go against one of the best secondaries in the NFL. I know they're very young, but they're up and coming, okay? We can all agree on that. They're very up and coming. So I think this is only going to make him better and more prepared for the start of the season. And this is why you need really good defenses, because it can help your offense get better each and every single day. And again, the Bears, starting defense dominated the 2-minute drills. And again, yes, did not look great in that area of practice. However, it's only going to make him better for actual in-game scenarios. Caleb Williams' arm strength is something that is just obvious. I mean, you could just tell, flick the wrist, the ball goes so far down the field. He had a lot of great throws, darts, dimes to DJ Moore. And I feel like DJ Moore, since he's been here, right? We know that Keenan Allen has missed a practice or two over OTAs. We know that Rome Odunze had a hamstring injury over the first few days. First few weeks, I should say. DJ Moore has been here every step of the way, man. Building chemistry, building rapport with Caleb Williams. And that's something that has translated into mandatory minicamp, right? Even with Keenan, even with Rome Odunze, DJ Moore is getting a lot of targets because he's already built that chemistry with Caleb Williams while everyone else was out. So that is something major to take note of. Love to see that as well. It does seem like there's a lot of media members, that are a little bit concerned with the ball is coming out a little bit slow at times. Like his mechanics are a little bit slower than they thought it would be. But again, that is something you can work on, something you can fix. And I think that is something that will happen. So we'll see what happens in terms of that. What else happened? Rome Odunze, man. He looks good. He looks really like back to normal. He's no longer dealing with that injury, that little strain he had. The man can run. The man can run really fast, and I'm just excited to see how he continues to develop, because like we said earlier, this is a team who has a tremendous amount of ability to just shock the world in terms of their offensive depth chart. I mean, they have so many guys here. DeAndre Swift, a unpredictable running back who you can catch the ball at the backfield. They can run it down their throat. I mean, the dude can do everything. Then you have Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. They have a deep running back room. They have a deep wide receiver room. Their defense looks good. So, man, I am very excited to see how this team continues to develop. Guys, mandatory minicamp is going to continue over the next few days, and we're going to keep you guys covered through it all. Make sure you guys join the family. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And I think today we should have a part 2 coming out later on. So I'll see you guys in the next Bears and Caleb Williams update. Peace.